Hey guys, I am back with another kind of thought bubble that popped into my head today, and I thought, if I'm thinking it, then somebody else is probably thinking it too. So that's when Jenny told me to pick up the phone and film. So somebody, another widow, posted a very interesting message, and I resonated with it so much. And it's this idea of the widow. I guess this video is going to pertain more to someone who's lost their spouse, but also anyone who's in grief. But this was kind of, I was thinking maybe for people who lost their spouse, for widows, widowers going through this. And the phrase that I was thinking of, and the phrase that this person used, was this limbo. And I was trying to understand what she was saying, and it all started to click as I started to think about the different things that go on in our life as grieving widows and widowers, and people who are trying to navigate a whole new world, a whole new life, without their spouse, without their partner, without their best friend, without the mother or the father of the kids. It's really difficult. And limbo was such a good way to describe the way that you feel when you're in grief and you lost your spouse. I took notes because I wouldn't be able to put into words everything that I'm thinking. And to start, the limbo is you, when you're married, or when you're with a significant other for a long period of time, it doesn't have to be marriage, but when you're with someone for a long period of time, you mold with them. You mold into a life with them. Decisions that you make are with them. Things that you think with them. You share the same ideas. You share the same thoughts. You have a lot of the same ideas. And then you get that stripped away from you, and you kind of just have to keep living your life, keep going forward. But the same different scenarios come up. And when those scenarios come up, you want to turn to your person. So the first note I have is you kind of don't know who to turn to. So like for me, my best friend was my wife. On top of that, she was my spouse, my partner, the person I parented with, my everything. So any question, any concern about life, about work, about parenting, about diet, about health, about what's going on in today's news, anything, I turned to my wife and I could ask her, what's your opinion? What do you think of this? What should I do about this? And now you don't have that person. I understand that we have other people in our life that we can turn to, but there's nothing like that significant other's opinion. I value Jenny's opinion and my wife's opinion so much. I always wanted to know what she thought on any matter, because I always wanted to, we were so in sync, and I always wanted to see where she was thinking, where I was thinking, and where we kind of lined up and where we didn't, but we always lined up. But now when you have a question about, hey, this, Ellis came home and said this about school. Winnie's struggling with not feeling like she likes her current dresses. I don't love the way the living room's looking. What should we buy? What color goes with this? What pictures do you think would look good on our blank wall over here? I have 2 meetings this week. How do you think they're going to go? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should wear? Jenny and I talked about so many things, and I don't have that go-to person anymore. I really don't. And I have a best friend that I call often, that I could talk to him about anything. I have another best friend that I could talk to about anything. I have friends at work. I have family. but there's nobody that will ever fill Jenny's void, ever. And it's hard to not know who to turn to when you have questions. And there are people, and they'll give me their advice, and they'll be sweet, and they'll be kind, but nothing's like your wife or your spouse. And so that limbo is not knowing where to go when you have a question, who to turn to for this. Because no one's, I married my wife for so many different reasons, and nobody is that. Nobody's that. So I'm looking for a specific answer that Jenny would give. Nobody can give that answer. They're not Jen. People can give what they think. We can all say what we think Jenny would do or what we think Jenny would like. But the fact is we don't have her answer. So the first part of limbo is not knowing who to turn to. When you have happy news, when you have questions, when you have really sad news, when you're stressed out at work and you just can't go on, when you don't know what to make for dinner this week, when you don't know what color pillows to buy for a couch. That to me is hard. And when it's a spouse, it's literally everything. What are we going to make for lunches this week? What should I do with my hair at my next meeting? Well, what outfit should I buy for this event? What should we do for the dog's food, because this food seems to be irritating them? What do you do about the fish tanks that keep getting dirty? What color do you think goes good here? What picture should we hang here? And it's all me now. And it gets really tiring and taxing and hard to constantly guess at what your partner would pick. You just want to hear what they want. I just want to know what Jenny wants, and I'll do it. I just want to know what she wants on that wall. I'll put it up right now. It's hard to make a lot of these, even some of the simplest decisions. You just want her opinion. You just want your spouse's thought. If I could just get a second of a thought. I think another thing with limbo, the next note I have is your attitude. As a grieving widower or widow, or someone who's grieving the loss of anybody, you never know whether you're too sad, or you're too happy, or you're doing too many things independently, or you're depending on too many people. You never make everybody happy. You just don't. And that's what I'm learning, that you finally get on your 2 feet and start to live life, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. And then people look at it as like, oh, he doesn't need us anymore. When I need everybody so badly, I need so much help, I couldn't even begin to explain. And then there's times when I feel like I'm needing too much of people or spending too much time around people, and I got to do things for my own. I got to start being a single parent full time and doing everything I got to do. So there's a huge limbo with happiness and sadness. When I'm having a good week like I did last week, and I'm hanging out with friends, and I'm talking to people and doing good at work, and the kids are doing good at school, I'm like, oh, am I doing too well at this point? Is it too early in the grieving process that I shouldn't be doing this well? Does that mean I'm a bad person? Does that mean I'm not doing everything right? Does that mean I'm putting on a mask? Does that mean I'm not facing things internally? You don't know. You just question. You question why you're happy. And that should never be someone's thought process. But when you're grieving, it is, because you don't know happiness. You're learning it all over again. And then sadness, yeah, I've had some people say get over it, but for the most part, no one's saying anything. But, as time goes on, months, pretty soon a year, people start to go back to their normal lives. People have things to do. They've got their own families, they've got their own kids, and the help and support starts to fade a little bit, and that's normal. That's okay. But then you wonder if you're too sad, or you're too much of a heavy cloud for people to be around. Like, we were there to support you when everything happened, but now we gotta go. And you never want to feel too down or too sad, because then you feel like you're doing everyone a disservice. You feel like, for me, I feel like I'm doing my kids a disservice. I feel like I'm doing the people at my work a disservice, myself. And it's not healthy. You don't feel healthy if you're just down, down, down. And then if you're too happy, you feel like you're doing something wrong. Like, why is Kyle all of a sudden smiling all the time? Like he's already over it? It's just such a limbo feeling with everything. I'm telling you, this word describes it to me perfectly. Limbo. You're stuck. You're happy, then you're sad. You're up, then you're down. You're confused. Everything makes sense. You accept it, you don't. That's a big one too that I wrote down, is acceptance. I have accepted the fact that this is my life now. I've accepted the fact that I lost my wife at such a young age. I've accepted the fact that cancer is a beast and it's hard to control. I've accepted the fact that my kids are going to grow up without Jenny. I've accepted those things. I have to. If I don't, I'm in denial. But then you want to go back and you want to slam your fist against the table and you want to say, no, I don't accept it. It's not fair. It doesn't make sense. My kids should not have to live this way. I think the times where I get the most confused and upset is for them. You guys heard it in the last video, but Winnie will randomly spit out, "I miss mommy," every so often. And it's the cutest thing, but it breaks my heart. They miss their mom. They want their mom in their life, and they don't have her. I don't know. So that's another limbo feeling of you always feel stuck. You accept it and you don't. You start to move forward and then you take 350 steps back and you never know what the day is going to hold. You just don't. Something can really trigger you, something cannot. I have days where I specifically will watch a movie that makes me cry because I can feel inside that I need a big cry. It's like I have too many days where I'm positive and it's like I need a good cry. I can feel it building up inside of me and I gotta cry it out. This is just a world that is obviously so new and so difficult to navigate, and it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. One thing that hit me today too was I called Auntie Melanie, and you guys know we're so close with them, their family. And she posted one of her kids had a birthday. And I realized Jen was the keeper of all the birthdays of family and friends, and she would make sure that we reached out and I'm not reaching out to anybody. I can't even remember my best friend's birthday. Part of it's grief, part of it, I didn't have any of this written down. Jen enjoyed doing that. She was good at that. And so I had to admit to Mel today, I was like, I don't know your kids' birthdays and I need them. And she was like, don't worry, I'm gonna send them to you, it's all good. It's just little things that pop up and you realize how much we molded our life together. And when that gets ripped out, you just have to figure out how to keep going and do things, and you're in this limbo. I think one of the biggest things for me, and this just hit me now, I love talking to my kids, but they go to bed, right, before me. There's so much alone time now, and sometimes it's okay, but I am realizing now how much I, as an adult, feed off of what I used to feed off of was that conversation with my spouse. Holding hands and cuddling on the couch with your spouse. That contact, that love, picking a show together. getting a snack together. It's all alone now. It's all alone. And there's so many days, you know, let's take 5 days out of the week where I'm okay. I'm okay with that, okay? That's the card we were dealt. You know, I'm here to take care of my kids. My wife got her life cut short. I got to do the best for them. I got to do the best for our family. And then there's some days where I say, I do not want this. I don't want this. I want to talk to my wife. I want to ask her how her day was. I want to tell her how my day was. I want to ask her opinion on something that I saw today. I want to know what she thinks. And I don't get that anymore. Again, I go back to limbo. It's like you're in this fog, in this bubble, this isolation, this loneliness, and you're just... Sure, you break out of it sometimes when you see friends, when you're with your kids, when you're at work, sure. But it always comes back to that deep loneliness at night when you don't have them anymore. And I realize how much I don't talk in the evening because there's no one to talk to. And if I am talking, I'm talking to myself. That's why I try to fill the nights with audiobooks or doing a hobby or something, because it's just so eerie, so quiet. And I just miss that conversation. And even if we didn't talk, I just miss holding her hand on the couch, telling each other funny stories, you know, like just the littlest things you miss in having a spouse and a partner. And then one of my biggest ones is just questions. Like, I have so many questions, and sure, I can get A, B, C, and D's opinion on it. But there's only one person's opinion I truly want, that I long for. And you know your person so well that you feel like you can make an educated guess on what they'd think or what they'd say, but it doesn't compare to their actual voice and their actual opinion. So for those who are grieving anybody that they've lost, I feel that lost feeling. I feel it. Lost, confused, stuck. And it's like you tell yourself, and you know you're gonna get out of the mud. You have to. You do. But sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you feel guilty for doing it. Sometimes you feel like you're getting out of the mud too quickly. Sometimes you feel like you're never gonna get out of it. I don't know. And I've said it before, sometimes you feel like if you get out of the muck, then you're leaving behind your loved one, and I don't want to. So part of me wants to stay in the muck. Limbo was such a good description. And we've talked a few times, this person and I, just over social media. And we both lost our spouses around the same time. We both have kids, and it's just... It's hard, man. I just want everyone to know who's lost someone, who's still grieving the loss of someone. I hear you. It's painful. It hurts every day. And even on our good days. Even on our good days, we're wearing a mask. We are. We'd be lying if we weren't. Because that was our person. And sometimes I can't fathom the fact that I'm 34 and a widower. Literally doesn't make any sense. Like, we had so much of our life to go. So much. And I'm just truly envious of the couples that get to grow old together. I am, but I'm so happy for them. Gosh, I'm so happy for them. Now when I hear someone say they're having their 50th or 60th anniversary, I'm so happy for that couple. I don't know, being stuck stinks. I am extremely thankful for my kids, though. I really am. Because I can't imagine how more stuck I would be if I didn't have them. They give me purpose, so much drive, so much motivation in a day. And without them, I don't know. But I just wanted to say, if you feel like you are stuck, I feel you. If you feel like you're in limbo and you don't know what's up, what's down, what's good, what's bad, when's too much, when's too little, I'm there with you. Man, it's hard. But you keep trekking forward. You keep going forward because that's all we can do. All right, well, I don't have any more notes. But we can do this. If you've lost someone, the days don't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. You just keep going. For our partner, for our loved one that we lost, whoever it is, keep going for them. Pick yourself up. Keep going. Show them you love them by going strong in the day and appreciating your days and appreciating life and appreciating all the things that you do have, because they would want to be here. Healthy, happy. So that's what I'm going to do. Keep trekking forward. All right, guys, thanks for listening to my spiel. Glad I got it off my chest. Love you guys.